Hello, welcome to this channel. In this video I want to talk about the best Moleskine planners for bullet journaling. Before I start, please bear in mind that when I speak about bullet journaling, I usually mean a task tracking system that can take place in any kind of notebook, in any kind of place that works for you, but that also gives you some space to organize your personal life, your habits, your goals, your dreams and aspirations, things like that. So in my definition of bullet journaling, it is more than a planner in the sense that it also helps you organize your personal life and your goals. But at the same time, I don't think it should be so constraining that it has to be done in a specific way with specific rules, even though I know there's the bullet journal method. But being honest, like task lists and bullet points have existed way before what we call now the bullet journal method. I know there's a big bullet journal community out there that they like to keep it very structured, and the way writer Carol does it, that's great, that's perfect. I always say, do what works for you, what makes you happy, what keeps you functional, and what keeps you organized. So let's start. Here I have 3 of the Moleskine, 3 different Moleskine planners. I have used Moleskine maybe for about 12 years. It was my go-to planner for a long time, but I mean, it was a planner I liked. It wasn't planner piece for me. Planner piece for me is my Hobonichi planner, but I know those planners can be quite pricey and not that accessible. They're not easy to find. You have to purchase them online. Moleskine planners, they're fairly easy to find. So I wanted to go over some of the Moleskine planners that I think could work best for bullet journaling, or if you don't want to call it like that, for organizing your tasks and having some extra space for your goals and your habits and anything extra you like to add on a planner. Oh, and I also want to add, there's the main Moleskine planner that has the week vertical on on the left side and a blank page on the other, very similar to the Hobonichi weeks. And I won't be covering those weekly Moleskine planners. There's also the one that is horizontal, because I think for me, those planners are, when I've used them, they were quite constraining in the sense that you only have a specific space or a certain space for your day, and I couldn't play much with them. They were only for tasks and to-dos and to organize my events and meetings, and that's that. So here I am covering the Moleskine planners that gave me some more space to do more. Okay, like I said, I've been using Moleskine notebooks or planners or whatever you want, Moleskine products for 12 years, on and off. Mostly what I've stuck with constantly are the journals and the Kahir's like notebooks for journaling, regular journaling, and as a traveler's notebook. The planners, I've been using them on and off. I've talked in previous videos about how I didn't find planner piece for a while, because on one side, I like to have space, a creative space in my planners, and at the same time, I like the structure of having preset dates and calendars. So I'm going to start with this one, because this is the first one where I try to migrate like actual bullet journaling in a regular notebook, plain notebook, just bullet points, migrating tasks and things like that. And I tried to migrate it with a kind of artistic sense into a planner. So this is the Moleskine Pro Weekly Diary. This is a 2018 version. I think this one you can only get it in black. I haven't seen any other colors for this one. and it has a page for your personal information, and has the previous year and the current year in 2 pages. And when you go into the monthlies, I'm trying to find one that doesn't have personal information. Okay, here. So with the monthlies, you have your month in one side, space for notes below it, and you have space for this month's focus, monthly projects and goals. For me, this is one of the things that made this planner perfect for me to do bullet journaling, because I could track my personal goals for the month, my focus, and even though I didn't really use these monthlies because I think the space is very small to write anything or to write many things, I did use this space the first months of the year. But as I have said in previous videos, this kind of layout, like a regular planning layout, kind of bores me after a while. And before I discovered Hobonichi, as you will see here, most of my planners, I stopped using them around mid-year, June, July, August. But for the first months, it was a solid effort. So yes, you have the monthly projects and goals, and I think this is perfect. You have space, this space, I don't know how visible it is, but you can write dates or check marks, and you have these tiny bullet points that you can either use or ignore. So these are the monthlies. Once you're done with the monthlies, like all Moleskine planners, you have international holidays, time zones, measures, conversions, dialing codes, and travel planning. Then you have 2 blank pages and a world map, and then again some more blank pages that you can use for anything. I just did a small sketching here. So my monthlies, I customized them, adding some details and drawings, milestones, my main goals for the month, and I added this flap here. You can see this is tape, and this is the main payments for the month. So I have it here because it doesn't matter in which month I am. I can just open it and look the date and the payment I have to do. So yes, those are the monthlies. Then you have this space with goals for the year and weekly contents. I did some decorations in here with washi tape and a regular pen. And with weekly goals, I added my weekly highlights. Instead of weekly contents, I changed this for weekly highlights. And this has the 52 weeks of the year. And this is something very neat that I really liked, even though I didn't continue. But if you like to track your main goals or milestones or highlights for each week in the year, you have this space. You have the 52 weeks of the year plus the first week of the coming year. And I decided to add like a cover page for each month. That way I can find them easily, because otherwise it's just continuing each weeks and month, and you don't have any tabs or anything to know when one month starts and the next month ends. So I use this gold washi tape to create kind of a cover page for each month, and that way I could find each month easier. So I have this design. This was inspired by another YouTuber. I'm going to link her down below. Her videos are amazing. I love her designs, and she was the one who truly inspired me to be more artistic in my planners and journals. So this is my cover page, and in the back I added my goals for the month, and then you have the weeks. Essentially what you get in the each month is the week in vertical layout, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, dividing one column in two. You have the month, And then after each week, you have space for notes on that week, project, status, task, and I did play a lot with this layout. So going back here, the first week I changed this for weekly to-dos and priorities, what I'm reading this week, my shopping list, and notes. So I'm showing you the pictures I uploaded on Instagram. Those were the first pictures I did on my planning account. And starting March, I started to do my own thing. This was my design. I looked for something that made me think of March, and I put some things together. And I was very happy with how it turned out. So at the end of each week, I added my notes on the month, my goals, books I'm reading, courses, and shopping list. And now that I'm seeing it again, I did have a lot of fun with this. So this is why I think this is a great planner for bullet journaling, because you can really customize these pages that you get after each week, where you can add whatever you want to track or keep in mind, or tasks that are important that are continuing throughout the year. This planner is great for that, and I did have a lot of fun with it. If this is something that you think may work for you, this is a great alternative planner for bullet journaling. And I am talking about planners for bullet journaling because, well, in my case, I do like to have preset dates to work with. I don't have the patience to do the designs for each week and each month and the layouts. If I'm in January and I have an event on December, I like to just go to that page and write down what I have to do that day. And I know traditional bullet journaling has like the future log. Didn't work for me when I tried it. And I did try traditional bullet journaling several times. Okay, so once you're done with the weeklies, you get several blank pages for notes. So I added like the list of books I read that year. This planner at the end, it comes with several task lists that you can rip off. So one of these I ripped it off to do this flap, and I think I removed all of them. I used them all, so yeah. And then you get the traditional pocket that all Moleskine planners have. So next, for something more freestyle, if you don't really care about preset dates, you just want to have a good space for your bullet journaling and maybe more traditional bullet journaling, this is the Moleskine Professional Notebook. So when you open it, you have a content page, which is great for bullet journaling. You have the first page for your key tasks, project planning, personal goals, group goals, note pages, and you have then 210 pages, then detachable note pages and detachable to-do lists. The detachable to-do lists are the same ones that come in this one, in the Pro Weekly. So here is your page for key tasks that you want to do throughout the year, and project planning, where you have space for your project, date, and notes. There's 2 of them, and then a page for personal goals, where you can see I was feeling very optimistic. Then group goals, I guess this is for projects, for your family, and I don't know, school maybe. Then note pages, and then you jump right into all the regular pages, and they all look like this. You have this space to maybe or not write the date, this space for a description of what you're doing. Like, you really can use it however you want. This one I personally didn't use it for planning. I use it to track my thesis, to do, well, tasks and things I had to do to get it done. So this was all my thesis tracking. In my case, the way I used it, I would use this smaller column to write my to-dos for a specific project, and then longer description of what I had to do or how I break down that specific task. Since I didn't finish it, and by the time I was done with my thesis notes, which were in more notebooks than in here, I think they were all over the place at the end, I'm using the next pages for recipes, which this is also great for. So this is beauty recipes, home recipes, and cooking recipes. And it's very straightforward. I have the title of the recipe, some annotations, the ingredients, and what I have to do. And I really enjoy these kind of notebooks. I think I may continue buying them once I'm done with this one, because I am loving it for recipes. And yeah, I really like it. At the end here are the task lists. I think I read all of them because I do use them a lot. I like to attach them to notebooks. So yes, you have many of these task lists that you can rip off, that you can just take and do whatever you want with them. And like with all Moleskine notebooks, then you have your envelope. This one has a double envelope, not just one. It comes in two, it broke. But yes, it's a double envelope, which can be very neat. There. Oop. So yes, this is a great option if you want to do more traditional bullet journaling, but not necessarily in a completely blank notebook. You want some kind of structure to start with. And yes, this is a great option. It has the index, and you have these 3 spaces to play with however you want, or you can just use it for straight down notes, which I also did at some point, as you can see. So yes, this is another option, a great option for bullet journaling. And the third one, this is more, this is the daily planner. The reason I'm adding it is because I am actually doing my own style of bullet journaling in my Hobonichi planner, where I also divide the pages, tasks for my YouTube channel, my daily tasks, what I eat in a day, some annotations and appointments. So this really works for me. This is the layout I love, and I think this can also be done in here. I know that I think Seaweed Kisses does her planning and journaling in one of these Moleskine pocket size. I think this is what is it called? Well, it's a daily diary, but I think this is the pocket size. And I have here my Kaweco pen. And like Moleskine planners, it has a space for personal data. Here you have the year. You don't get 2021. In this case, you have your monthlies, and then international holidays, time zones, measures and conversions, dialing codes. And I am personally using this one this year for news tracking. And I added these Midori tabs, which I love how they look. They're adorable. Look at that. Ooh, they look nice. I really like them. They're cute. They add some color to this very serious cover. And well, I did mess up at the end. I should have put them a little closer together, but I don't really mind. And yes, this can also be a great space for bullet journaling, because you can write down notes, observations, goals, tasks. Whenever you have a blank page, you can do anything with it. That's why I'm counting it in this list, because blank page is a universe of opportunities to do whatever you want to do in here. whatever works for you, whatever makes you happy. And yes, this is a great option for that. This one doesn't have many note pages at the end, and it doesn't have any task lists, but it does have, as usual, the little back pocket in the back. And now that I'm seeing that I have more of the task lists from this one, I think I would like to add, like, cut it down a little bit, to add a little, I like flaps, I really like them. But we'll see. Let's see what I do with these ones. But yes, these are 3 great Moleskine options that could work for your daily journaling or planning. Do whatever works for you. Do whatever makes you happy, however makes you happy, whatever is functional for you. And I really hope this video was useful for you. If you have any comments, leave them down below and I will get back to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.